There now follows an apology on behalf of Simply Fred.
Yeah, good evening. Before we start tonight's show, I've got an apology to make. The powers that be at the BBC felt that the material in last week's show did not conform to the strict policy of political correctness that the BBC strives to maintain throughout all its programmes, and unless I apologise personally, I won't get paid. So, OK, I'm sorry, and you can be sure that there will be no politically incorrect material in this next half hour, I promise. Anyway, you heard the one about the Russian man with the big hat? Oh. Sorry about that. OK, what about the Egyptian that wouldn't go anywhere without her mummy? Oh, for goodness sake! Sorry about this. Look, right, here we go. This Martian walks into a pub and he goes up to the... December, it is officially Christmas party time! No work from now till January the 8th. Let's celebrate! Cheeky. You've got only 4 weeks to go, 4 weeks to get your Christmas shopping done, 4 weeks to avoid the gangs of Neds hanging about staring at your shopping bag. Right? You're frightened they're going to nick it as you're getting into the car. Know what I had to do last week? I had to get the chauffeur to go round the block. Nightmare. Right? I actually think we should be giving Ned something to do, because I don't know about you, but we're bothered with foxes in our street, right? And they're all over Glasgow, right? Not just the posh area where I live. And it used to be, right, you'd turn into the street, you'd catch a fox and it would dart off. But now, turn into the street and the fox kind of goes, oh, I live here as well, it's bin night, what do you expect? As I say, it's not just where I live, they're all over the place, they're even in Govan. And what I am advocating, right, is for Boxing Day this year, I want to see the Govan Hunt. And I'm not talking rhyme and slang, OK? I want to see Neds on horseback. Right? Neds up there on horses that they've nicked from Strathclyde police. Right? You've got all these bandy cops walking about saying, where's the horse? Right? The gaffer's going to be furious. And they're up there like... Incidentally, Strathclyde police this year issued their horses with rubber hooves. Right? Obviously, that was the plain clothes horses. The detective horses, the ones working undercover, you know? Clear off, I'm a dog, right? So you got the Neds on the horseback. Lead Ned, he's got a special red shell suit on, right? A black hat, right? Because he's in charge of the hunt, right? And he doesn't have beagles. He's got a pit bull terrier on the back, latched onto the back hind leg of the horse, right? See when I get that fox, by the way. Right? And I'm talking proper Neds here, right? The full Kappa tracksuit. The trousers tucked into floppy socks down there, right? You know the kind of Ned I'm talking about? The ones that have these skip hats on, right? That are peaked away up there like that. They're so tight that they go nasal. Right? Right, all right. Ringing bells with you now. I've seen them buying them. A bloke came into the shop. He was in a sports shop beside me, and he came in and he goes, can I try on that skip hat? He goes, yes, it's kind of what I'm looking for, but I don't think it's tight enough. Could you take it in a notch? Aye, that's a wee bit better, big man. You couldn't rack it in what? Oh, you're a dancer! That's exactly what I'm after! Now, I asked last week's audience, I'm going to ask this week's audience, have you seen the papers? No! You not? Oh, that's a shame, but fortunately I've got mine here. Let's have a quick scan through them. Now, the first story I've got for you tonight, let's start with royal news. It says here, thieves at Buckingham Palace made off with 1.5 tons of lead. It was the Queen Mum's fillings. God bless you, ma'am. There goes the knighthood. Now, I don't know if you caught this, but Jim Carrey is taking part in the film The Grinch, and he got $20 million, or 20 million quid, and he said that he was disappointed he had to spend 4 hours in makeup getting his latex mask put on. Now, you can see the effect that had on him there, and if you just scan down here, there's Daniela Westbrook. He could have just done what Daniela did, you know? A couple of lines of cocaine, and there's your face sorted out for you. Here we are, the American race for the White House. It's still going on. Bush, picture there. Hey! Gush and Gore, right? Gush and Gore. Gore, you think you'd be able to read it. It's actually there in front of me. Gore says it's not over yet. Apparently there's nothing between them. In fact, it's a bit like Daniela Westbrook's nostrils. What has happened, you know, this is the time of year, you know, when, you know, it's panto season. We're into December, and you get one person coming out and saying, I'm going to do such and such, and then somebody else goes, oh, no, you're not. And then the Supreme Court decides who is going to be president. What else have we got? Now, we in Scotland don't like to be left behind, so this week we had our very own rail crash. When a Scottish express train came off the rails at 15 miles an hour. Right? Somebody actually said to the driver, can we not go any faster? And the driver said, well, we could, but I'm not allowed to get out and walk. A woman actually went into labour on the train, which was a great shame. The shame being she wasn't pregnant when she got on the blooming thing. Now, for Glaswegians watching, you will be disappointed to see that at Paddy's Market, the cops swooped and made off with some bootleg gear. CDs, tapes, tobacco, booze. The irony in this story was that they were fake cops. These were police that had been made in sweatshops in East Asia. Do you see this guy, David Blaine? He's an American magician, and he's just spent 58 hours in a block of ice. And he actually practiced and rehearsed for that over here in Scotland by spending 58 hours in a pensioner's flat. Here's the final story, folks. Beckham and Posh. They're in just about all the papers every week, but it was good stories this week. There was a documentary, incidentally, this week where they talked about Beckham's IQ. Wednesday on ITV, I think it was between 8 and 9. But it could go up to 10 if he reads another book. Now, David's had this tattoo done on his arm, and, you know, there was a bit of trouble because they had to find out about the spelling. And once they'd spelt Victoria, they decided to change it into Hindi or Hidi or something like that. And they worry that there's actually an extra H in it. Right? It was a great shame for him, because he's got it tattooed in his arm forevermore. Now, he's not the first person to have had this done, because if you can see there, I actually got it done just like that, which was really handy for when I was hitchhiking around London. And got that done as well. You should see where I've got King's Cross. And thanks to Viagra, I can now get to that Welsh town with the funny railway station name. I think it's Neath. Now, come over here. I want to show you my latest acquisition, okay? It's right over here in my living room area. And it's an answering machine, folks, right? And it's state-of-the-art. Not only does it take my messages, but it screens my calls, right? Very handy. If it recognises the incoming number, it answers appropriately. For example, if it's an ex-girlfriend, it checks to see if my wife's in before it answers. If it's John Prescott, it answers in French. And if it's David Beckham, it answers in Hindi, with an extra H in every word. So let's see if anybody called.
Hi, Fred. I don't want you to think that I'm a drinker. I can stop any time I want to. Only I don't want to. So you know what? I'm coming around for a bevy right now.
That's Ronnie Ancona, the wonderful vocal artiste pretending to be Marilyn Monroe. She's coming along later to help me with my accent. I'm worried I sound just a wee bit too Scottish. See if there's anybody else.
Hi, Fred. It's Willie Bigman here of Wee Man's Life Insurance. Just to let you know, that advert that you star in, it's ready, and it should be with you shortly.
Brilliant. I'm really expecting an advert. It's here already! I wasn't expecting it that quick. Minnie Barman, can you put it in? Let's have a look at this. This is my new advert, folks. I've made an advert. Big bucks if this works. Calm your grimful beans, Mr. Reaper. Our soul's not quite right for sucking just yet. There's still time to sign up for Wee Man's Life Insurance. Once this form's signed, I'll help you set fire to the bed. Wee Man's Life Insurance. Wouldn't you like peace of mind? All yours. That works a treat, doesn't it? I That's brilliant.